one-to-one question, people are not going to answer that. And so Katrina came along, and our community lost a lot of dollars because the people who came in with methods that our community wasn't aware of, our community not used to, and we lost a lot. And the community where I live in Plaquemine Parish, right after Hurricane Katrina, our community totally devastated, destroyed. And because we're in rural Louisiana, and we saw the hell that people in New Orleans were catching, we know we didn't stand a chance in Plaquemine Parish. So we had to rebuild our community. And we came and took destiny in our own hands. Dan Raza and everybody came down and, and said, what y'all contribute coming back from, what y'all contribute building 130 houses for people at $38,000. How can you do that? Because we're saying that we came together, affordable housing, we understood the makeup of our community. We understood that there are certain banks who wasn't going to let our community in the door. They'll call the police for us if we walk into the bank. They'd be trying to rob them because of our economic life. But we came in as a community and we came together and unified, and we was able to build affordable housing. We got out all our houses and rebuild our community, start community park. We developed a community park. 40 years that park had nothing but grass. We took 14 young people with a side and a swing blade and a ride longboat and opened up a pathway. And we came in there a week after we cut it down. We did our own little architect design that sent to the fire marshal to build the building. But today, that park is about 2 acres clean. We got shelters, restrooms, and all that we did without any government dollars. So a lot of work we've been doing as a community without any government dollars. So that's why I can talk the way I talk. Because we don't go around begging anybody for anything. But we saying that this government owe our community a lot. And so what BP have done to our community is criminal. They polluted our water, messed with our water. We had fishermen just a couple of weeks ago went out, and our president, I hate to say that, but there's some work got to be done. Even though he went swimming in the water with his daughter, we had fishermen just a couple of weeks ago still going and getting their traps out, polluted. We're not eating seafood ourselves, regardless of what they're saying. EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, came in our community and they said they were doing survey. Now we figured the Environmental Protection Agency is supposed to be there to protect us. But you know what happened when they came to our community to have a community meeting? When they're supposed to go out and test the water, they said we did surface testing right at the edge of the water. And it seemed to be the same. There's no difference. People in the community thought, said, well, why you didn't go out deep? Oh, we couldn't get out. They said, well, catch a ride with CNN and ABC because they're showing it on the news every day. What I'm saying is that, but I was insulted to saying that this day and time, you're not doing it. And as you say, my brother, doing the right thing. And we're saying, look, our community is suffering. The Mississippi River is our source for drinking water, is our source for taking baths. And so we're saying is that BP came in and destroyed, and they had fault. They are told that fault. I just saw this morning BP did their own report and came out and almost get itself a cleaning bill of health. But I'm saying, what you expect to put Dracula over a blood bank? So we're saying we got to begin to look at that. So what we want to do right now, what we've been trying to get for the since May, is get some independent research done. Independent research done. And we're saying, no offense to EPA, no offense to Natural County Administration, and all these OSHA, and we met with every agency in D.C. Now, I'm not talking about in Louisiana. We've been to D.C. and met with every agency. The very first meeting I had with federal agency, our community hosted, our agency hosted. And one of the things that came out of the meeting, and what you said is what I told those agencies at the end of the meeting. Because BP was there, and all these agencies was mirroring the same thing that BP was saying to our community. And we're saying it'll be a shame for 10 years from now that our community have an epidemic dying from the toxic poison that's in its water, and EPA, OSHA, Natural County Administration, none of you folks came out with the truth. Do the right thing. And we're saying the right thing right now because there's a distrust in BP, deservedly so. When you say that that's why we need historical black colleges to be a part of the people doing the research, because we trust you. Our community trusts you. I don't agree with a lot of things that Reverend Jackson said. But when we met with him at BP, one of the things that he told BP, He said, look, if you really want to do the right thing, you let community people be in the lead of what's really happening. We told the government this: if you can trust the bankers of America and just throw money at them, and you saw what they did with that money. That was a trust issue. That was a trust issue. And so you can't trust community groups. So the same trust that you put in some of these other universities, you should put it in historical black college. Now, if you're all afraid to say that, call on us and we'll represent you. Because what we're saying is this, is that BP have demonstrated that they can't be trusted. I don't care how many black people they put in the commercial. They can put 20 black people in the commercial. It still does not change the fact that they're still lying to us, that everything they told us haven't been the truth. And so we're saying is that the research money should go to Black Historical College for one reason: our community trusts them. We're saying if you come back to us and saying you've done this research, we're going to go to the bank with it. We're going to help it on that word because we trust you. We're saying BP have demonstrated that they can't be trusted. To be honest with you, a lot of federal agencies, we don't even trust them. No, I'm serious about it. I'm not saying that to come down hard. I'm just saying because from where we staying at, since the BP explosion, the federal agency haven't shown us anything. All the fishermen that we work with, still not getting it right. The claim process is not working for African American fishermen at all. We've been through that whole process. The 6 months stuff that you hear about claim, we presented that. But I don't want to talk about that. But the thing that I'm saying is important to us is that the money for research is given to, I mean, that's why we work with Dr. Wright. They have been a blessing to us. I mean, we have been struggling around language. We have been struggling around OSHA stuff. But once we hooked up with Dr. Wright organization, they was able to give us language, information, processes that helped us tremendously. Tremendously. When we had other folks coming in, people like, what are they talking? Who are they? People weren't coming in. But the minute that we hooked up with Dr. Wright, things from our community changed. So we're saying is that we do advocacy. I've been doing advocacy work now for 41 years. And I'm 58, so that tells you how young I was when I started. But I'm just saying is that, and what we have learned is that our community don't trust everybody. And right now, there's a trust factor. And so if you want to put something at the top of your budget or your paper that your funding application, put on the fact that because African American community doesn't trust BP. And I'm very serious about that. And that's why you're needed, because the trust level and the anxiety level, the mental health stuff in our community. Another organization, you know, I'm a Christian, but Catholic Charity ain't the answer for our community. They're coming in, they're getting, I mean, they got $1 million right away. And they fronted all kinds of people in our community, giving away cheese and butter and boxes of canned goods and all that, which was insult to our system. These guys had dignity and respect about themselves. But what Catholic Charity is doing, they're using that to get numbers of people coming in, and then trying to use those same numbers to say that we need to do mental health in those communities.
That's right.
We're saying this, we're saying that we have enough young people on these college campuses that can go in our community and help people the other side. Just this last weekend, the weekend just passed, Miss Dillard University, she was somewhere in Africa somewhere about a month ago, called me and she said, you know, Reverend, we're going to come to your community and we want to do some volunteer work, but it rained. So I tried to call a young sister up and say, well, look, you know, you can't come next Saturday. She said, Reverend, I don't know what you got for us to do, but our bus is paid for. We got 41 students. We're on the way. You better find something for us to do. They came down just Saturday past. 41 students from Dillard University. And let me tell you what they did when they came down. What happened was, because we enter community mapping, those 42 kids went door to door in our community and asked people, have they been made whole from Hurricane Katrina? And what was the process and why they wasn't made whole? 5 basic questions. And guess what? You know what each one of them said when they came back? They said, we couldn't believe how people accepted us into their houses, the hospitality that we received. And that's why, and I'm using this as an example of saying that historical black colleges can do more for our community in terms of the research BP, because you could actually go into the community. If you call a meet, community people are going to come out. EPA, all these people, BP calling me, ain't nobody coming out. All the meetings that BP had, we've had little meetings. You know what, people left out there more disgusted than they did when they walked into those meetings. So again, we're saying that historical black college is the way to go for the research money. And again, and I'm really going to try to get back here at 2 o'clock, because I would really like to see who these BP people are that's coming in. But it's very, very important that you all pursue this. I see the NAACP logo is at the top of that. How do we pursue that and make hold BP accountable to make sure that historical black college? It is sad to us that in 2010, you know, we got to still be begging to get money.